Hi, my name is Deb Enright and welcome to WCS Community Connects. As our community outreach efforts have expanded, the original name of this show, Money Matters, no longer describes the wonderful community connections forged over the past 2 years. And as we begin our third year of broadcasting, a new name for this show seems necessary to underscore the incredible partnerships WCS has created with corporations, foundations, organizations, and individuals that have brought exciting resources of time, talent, and treasure to our classrooms, theaters, and athletic fields. Williamson County Schools continues to strive to become a district recognized nationally for students who excel in academics, the arts, and athletics. Our efforts are supported by so many in Williamson County and beyond. WCS Community Connects will continue to highlight the creativity, enthusiasm, and commitment our community has for our schools, because we want to get you involved and help tell our story of excellence to anyone who will listen. It's just plain fun to have conversations with folks in our community, to consider, to dream, to design, and to implement ways for our schools to interact with our families and friends throughout the county. Our show today brings to life that commitment on the part of Dr. Looney and Williamson County Schools to build a core of partners driven to strengthen our school district for the benefit of the entire community. We call it the WCS Ambassador Program, a 5-month intensive introduction to our schools with a give-back element for leaders in our community from the corporate world, the nonprofit sector, the faith community, and those associated with foundations and individual philanthropists. Today, I welcome my co-conspirator in the creation of this program, the famous or infamous Carol Birdsong, to the studio to talk about the WCS Ambassador Program. Hi, Carol.
Co-conspirator.
Do you like it?
That.
I
very,
like that.
Very creative of
yeah,
you.
I like that. Yeah.
Partners in crime. Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I think it's true, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I
so,
agree.
For those who don't know, and I think because this is our third year now, so I think we know, right? So people who don't know, tell them what the program's about.
Well, I think we need to start back at the very beginning, when you actually started with Williamson County Schools and Dr. Looney gave you a charge of development, really, is go forth and develop, Deb. And okay. And so we were actually having a conversation about a program and some ideas of ways of getting community leaders involved in the school district, and you came up with this WCS Ambassador Program, and I had seen kind of a model of it, and so thus we merged together and been having a great time ever since, haven't we?
It has been fun, hasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so let's break it down for folks.
Okay.
It's 5 months.
Yes.
It starts in January, so at the beginning of a calendar year, and then we go through May. Remind me again, why do we pick that time?
Graduation.
Yeah, graduation.
Yeah,
that's
school
right.
year ends, graduation.
That's good, yeah.
And it's 5 months, 1 day a month, and it's intense. Wouldn't you say?
I think so. It's not for the faint of heart.
It is not.
I think what's really nice about it, I guess what I've heard from what the ambassadors who've been through it is, instead of it being a program that has like a little nice rope in front of a classroom and you walk by and you go, wow, the #1 district, of course it is. We actually get people to sit on the floor with a kindergartner, right, and talk about their day.
Actually, that was one of my favorite times, and I guess we should let folks know exactly kind of what that is. We actually bring in, 12, 15 folks?
Yes.
And we take them out and kind of immerse them in a school setting, several school settings. We like to expose them to elementary students, middle school students, high school students, hear from teachers, hear from the students, and really give them total interaction with kids and learning.
Well, we also, exactly, that's kind of the overview, right? And then what we do each time is we give them kind of a lens to focus. So one day will be about budget and finance, which I think is just one of those days where you're like, are you kidding me?
Is this really how this works?
This is how this is
and
done?
They do it on that much money?
Yeah.
Not very much money.
Not very much money, right. And so what we try to do is pair a collection of schools, maybe a cluster, with whatever the day is. And the focus is given by folks in the central office who have that 30,000-foot view. I mean, Dr. Looney really does. But the others in here.
Sure.
So for instance, for budget and finance, we'll have our CFO come. Or for differentiated learning, which is jargon for there's a lot of different talent in a classroom. How do I reach
How do I teach
everybody?
everybody, yeah.
We have the director of teaching and assessment come and talk about that, and some of the support staff that helps them as well. And so I think that's kind of neat. And then we try very much to, I guess it's a theme, not sure. I guess that's what we would call it.
We kind of call it a theme.
A theme.
Yeah, it's easy to
and then
understand.
try to build the day around
Sure.
that so that there's a chance for people to get in the classroom and maybe even to go through a lunch line.
Oh, yes. And what we've learned in that experience, I'll share with the viewers, is because we go on the same day each month, like on a Thursday. Thursday's Mexican food day.
It is.
Right? And so they ate a lot of burritos.
Yes, but we do burritos well.
We do burritos very well.
I think that was really important.
That is true. That is true.
We
But we want them to see everything.
Well, we do, and I think how easy it would be just to grab everybody and put them in a well-appointed car and just drive them through town, but not us.
We're putting you on a yellow bus.
Yeah.
Because you got to see how it works. When you from start to finish, our bus drivers are fabulous folks. And a lot of times, they're that first adult face that a student will see in the morning. And so we want our ambassadors to have that total feeling as well. So they get on the bus, Miss Sally might greet them as the bus driver, and they get to experience that. And what I recall from the past 2 years is some of our ambassadors really hadn't traveled around Williamson County.
Yes.
And they really didn't know that there were places outside of Franklin and Brentwood. And we took them to Nolensville. We took them to Fairview. They saw north, south, east, west.
Well, and I think that's probably the reason I remember the conversation where I kind of screeched into your office and said, oh my gosh, we don't know the story of the district. We don't realize how very varied and I call it rich, which probably isn't the right adjective to use, but we have a real diversity socioeconomically.
Sure.
We also have a lot of folks coming from different ways to live their life. So it's not just a college prep place that has a parent-dependent model for financing. And so how do we let people know? And I think that's why you and I said together, well, let's introduce them. And it does get folks to really understand that, first of all, that the county's large, that there are 41 schools. Lots of folks don't know that. Why would you? If it's not where your kids are going. Right. And I think it's really fun for people. I mean, and this is what our other ambassadors have said. I didn't know. I just didn't know. And they get to meet other school administrators and other teachers and other kids. I think what's fun for me too, Carol, is when we put these days together is how important it is for these children that these ambassadors are coming in. I remember when we went out to Fairview and they applauded when they walked into the Friday morning meeting. What a cool thing for people who are giving so much time to realize that an entire school really is engaged when they come to see their school, come and see what's happening in their classrooms.
And our students are so honest.
Oh,
yes,
and
if you really want to know what's going on in one of our schools, you talk to our students. And I remember that day that, we've been to Fairview both years because I don't know, there's just something special about going to Fairview, that whole cluster, and then when you get to the high school and you talk to the students there and how honest and how real they are, and very moving times for both groups of ambassadors, for both classes of ambassadors. I'm sure it'll be the same way again this year for our third group, but the students are so honest, and you can learn a lot about Williamson County schools if you have your listening ears on. They'll tell you a lot.
I think that's true, and I think that's really it's a testament to Dr. Looney and to the other assistant superintendents and our senior staff that we have been given the opportunity for people to ask kind of the harder questions. It's not a matter of just letting people know what the ACT scores are and what the scholarships, what $123 million last year. And that's all really great stuff, but it lets kids say, if I had this particular piece of equipment or had this particular class or my schedule could look a little bit like this, I think, middle school might have been more fun. And I think that's something that we have no idea what they're going to say. Right. But we do let them know that they're secure and can say whatever they want. And I think that happens when they're in their panels, because we all have panel discussions like every program does. But when they get to sit down and talk with the ambassadors one-on-one,
Over lunch.
I just love it.
Over the cafeteria lunch, because they get that whole experience.
Well,
So-
let's, we have a video that your wonderful department and Mr. Bobby Blevins has put together. So why don't we show folks what it kind of looks like, and then we'll come back and kind of wrap up with a couple things we're thinking about for this year.
Great idea.
Okay? So we'll be right back. Stay with us. So, is everybody kind of all set?
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
We really celebrate the fact that we're family and we have a lot of tradition, and we're excited to be able to share that with all of you.
We are family! Hello, my sisters and me! We are family! I got all my sisters with me. We are family! Get up everybody and sing! We are family! I got all my sisters with me. We are family. Get up everybody and sing. Everyone can see we together as we walk on by, and we fly just like birds of a feather. I won't tell no lie. All of the people around just to say, yeah, yeah. Can they be that close? Just like
I just find y'all incredible.
There's a place up ahead and I'm going just as fast as my feet can fly. Come away if you're going. Leave the sinking ship behind. Come on the rising wind. We're going up around the bend. Ooh. Bring a song and a smile for the banjo. Better get wild and getting's good. Hitch a ride to the end of the highway where the neon's point to wood. Come on the rising wind. We're going up around the bend.
You are a new student at Ravenwood High School today, and we're going to give you a schedule. And if you get lost or confused, these are the people that help you.
Always down for good conversation.
you're about to do me good. Come right here to me good news. Good news. You're what I've waited for. I wasn't slated for blues.
Because I'm happy. Clap along happens to you. Don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
And we're back with WCS Community Connects.
I like your new name.
Thank you.
Okay.
I like it too.
Very
It's
good.
broader
New year, new
scope.
name.
There's alliteration. It's good.
I like it.
So as we kind of close down this piece, let's think about when we're around these guys through the whole day. So what do you see, kind of those aha moments, or when the light bulb clicks on, or what does it look like? What touches them? What moves them? What does this program mean to them?
You know what? I think it's different based on the individual. And we have such a wide range, and we should say that we do pick the class. It's not an application
Right,
process.
that's true.
We pick, and we select based on chemistry,
Yeah.
and reference and such. And different people bring different things in, and I think they take different things away. And so you have folks who actually went through Williamson County schools and who are now successful in the business world who come back, so they take away something different or add something, a different perspective, perhaps than someone who's a grandparent. And it's been a while since they were in the schools or have had a connection. Or you have someone who's in the field of technology, and so they then see the needs that we have. And even though we are Williamson County schools,
Right.
We don't have a laptop for every child, and
Right.
we don't, that's why we started, bring your own technology, so that we could get more technology into the school buildings. And so sometimes folks see that need. What can we do to get laptops or, some sort of computer, some sort of technology into the hands of students?
Right. And I think it's also neat that they're either parents of or alumni. I mean, they
Sure.
have
They have to have a
I guess
connection.
skin in the
Skin
game.
in the game is what
right?
you like
is what
to
we
say,
say.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, because it's a vote of confidence in public schools and in our public school system to be participatory in whatever way that might be.
Right.
And I think that's really important because there's tens of thousands of families that would love to participate. So.
Right.
And I think we also look geographically. Do we have representation from all around the district? Industries, nonprofit, just as I said, foundations, individuals. How do we make all that work? I
Again,
think that's
north,
important.
south, east, west, central.
Exactly.
I think, we try to showcase all of those areas, and we want representation in the group from all of those areas.
Yeah, because part of this also is it's not just a one-way street. We really want to, create this bridge that allows people to get as well as give. I think that's really important. And I think I want to show a couple of so it's a give back program. So I want to give everybody a couple examples. And the first one actually snatched you all an award, which was really cool. So this is
In our first class. Freddie Scott.
Who is he's an NFL player, former NFL player. His dad was a player as well. Has kids in the Nolensville area, and Freddie just felt that with the work he actually does with the New York office for the NFL, he could somehow make that work for us, which I thought was delightful. So
we started the parenting playbook, and it was a
Yes.
whole series. And I want to say that we won an award through the National School Public Relations Association that we have shared with Freddie as well. But our department produced all of the vignettes.
Oh, they're
on
wonderful.
parenting, and really, because if families and community are involved in a child's education, there's much more success there.
Right, so the ambassadors can bring resources for the purchase of equipment or whatever, but they can also bring and bridge a gap using their expertise and even helping, because Freddie has a nonprofit, so this was helpful for him to kind of articulate how he wanted to be able to help the community as well.
Human resources as well.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And then using the schools was great too. Well, Carol, thank you for being here.
Hey, we're going to have a great time these next 5 months.
Yes, we will.
Thanks
I
for
can't
letting
wait.
me come talk about it.
Oh, it's so much fun. It's
Yeah.
great. I'm glad we're co-conspirators.
Me too.
Yeah. Our first video is the brainchild of, as we said, former NFL player and WCS dad, Freddie Scott III. In his current role with the National NFL Office in working with current players and veterans to help them realize the power of parenting, Freddie designed his Give Back to help his work with the NFL and with WCS through a 6-part series called The Parenting Playbook. And as Carol has just said, the communications department put it all together. It's beautiful. And in fact, they snagged a national award from it. So Freddie offers helpful hints to our parents to increase their engagement with their students. Here now is one of those videos currently available on WCS Tube. Keep your eyes on the clock.
I'm Freddie Scott with your Play of the Week. We never want to disappoint our kids by missing one of their games or performance. Some of us can still remember looking for our mom or dad in a crowd just before it was our turn at bat or before a solo began. We just felt safer knowing our biggest fan was there to support us. We're all wired to share what we love to do with those we love. Even in the NFL, after the pregame warm-up, I will look into the stands to see if my family was there to support me for the game. And some of us learn the hard way what it means when we mess up in the time management department. I've done it, and it hurts. My youngest son asked me every day for a week to come to his assembly. I promised him that I would. Even on the morning of the event, he reminded me, but I didn't put it on my calendar. I got busy, and the next thing I knew, I missed it. And if you've missed an event, just tell your kid how excited you are to hear all about it when you're together again. Use the clock wisely when it comes to your kids. Put important events on your calendar with a reminder. You never want to feel the heartbreak I felt because you took your eyes off the clock. And that's your Play of the Week.
And welcome back. We love the Parenting Playbook series that Freddie Scott put together. And finally, 2 of our ambassadors, Pam Bryant, CEO and President of the United Way of Williamson County, and Gail Powell, Executive Director of High Hopes Development Center, wanted to engage high school students to help them understand that their talents are needed in their own community of Williamson County to improve the lives of those who are in need. This short video captures the essence of their Give Back program, Youth Philanthropy in Motion. There may be this thread of enterprise that the kids come up with that one of the 2 agencies might actually use. This year, High Hopes and Mercy Community Health on Friday, so within 5 days, they have to design a concept that's either a program, a service, or a product that becomes an alternative funding source for that agency, so for either High Hopes or for Mercy.
So we were doing some team building. It's an activity called Blind Shapes. The whole purpose is just to kind of get the group to continue to gel together, work well together, and then talk through basically the bigger picture of what they're trying to create on Friday.
Is we want the teens to learn that we have needs here in our own community. You know, it's not just about needs that are overseas.
Other goals that have come out of that have been all kinds of critical thinking and problem solving and learning to work in a group and getting to know other people and valuing other opinions and taking constructive criticism and then bringing it all together to this, basically what they're going to present Friday is a business plan.
Or would you consider doing business with the Band-Aid maker that already is in existence and maybe somehow partnering with them?
Some sort of bond with Walgreens, so that's a place they could sell the Band-Aids, and since they're already in coalition with each other.
This week I've really learned a lot more on how to collaborate with people, and because I'm not a really big team worker. If I had my choice, I'd rather work individually, but this week I've really learned how to, kind of collaborate with people and input my ideas and also input other people's ideas on how to create a project.
I'm so excited to say that Youth Philanthropy in Motion will have a summer program for 2015 as well. Over 5 months, our WCS ambassadors put boots on the ground to see the underbelly of our school system. The program provides access to WCS decision makers, including the superintendent, school board chair, students, teachers, school administrators, PTO leadership, and current community partners. Our program provides full and fun access to our ambassadors to learn about our district, including, as Carol told you, traveling on school buses, going through the lunch line, helping kindergartners learn to read, or watching smartphones help a chemistry teacher check student understanding of the periodic table. There are panel discussions, school tours, classroom visits, fine arts performances, school-wide celebrations, and honest talk about our schools. It is about building bridges between the boardroom and the classroom to strengthen our school district, to directly benefit Williamson County, because the more you know, the more you can do. That is our show for today. Thank you for joining us. Here's to our show's new name, WCS Community Connects, giving you more ideas and more information so that together we can all provide the very best in education for our students and their families. My name is Deb Enright, and this is WCS Community Connects. See you next time.
Tinnitus is a ringing in your ears that won't stop. It's always there. It won't go away. What causes tinnitus? Being exposed to loud sounds for extended periods of time, like at a concert, sporting event, or listening to your MP3 player at excessive levels. Why does it matter to you? Because teenagers are 30% more likely to develop noise-induced hearing loss. And it all could be prevented with one of these. It is so simple. Don't let it happen to you.